Hello everyone, this is Mia Vibes. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I have a very exciting video for you guys. I say this, I feel like every time I start my videos, but today I am going to be introducing you to my Patreon page, or I will at least talk about my Patreon page, and hopefully I can give you some journal embellishments or ephemera inspiration. So here we have all these sheets. They're exactly the same things on different kinds of paper. These are my printable goodies for my Patreon members. So a couple months ago, when I first hit my 20 patrons, which was the Patreon goal on my Patreon page for a while. So when I first opened up my page, I set some goals and stuff, and when I hit 20 subscribers, no, 20 patrons, I set up another goal saying that if I ever get to 50 Patreon members, I will start creating monthly printable rewards for everybody. And I had that goal for a while, but my Patreon page is right now not growing as fast as my other social media platforms like Instagram or YouTube or even my shop. So I didn't want my Patreon members to be just waiting until I achieve the goal, because obviously it's me not being able to gather or like attract more Patreon supporters. So what I decided to do was, instead of just waiting until I get 50 Patreon members, I decided to just create this printable for my Patreon members already, so that they can start having this kind of extra rewards for whatever tier they are in, because this is for the $2 tier, which is the good vibes tier. So if you support me for $2 a month, then you'll be able to get these printable goodies every month. Today I printed them out on different kinds of paper. First of all, I have this neon cardstock, so I just printed out on all different kinds of, like 5 different kinds of colors. And this is my sticker sheet. So my sticker sheets divided in the center like this. So oh my gosh, it's kind of like, it always moves around on my printer, but anyway, this is a sticker sheet, so I can just cut it and use it right away without having to use the glue. I just decided to do this to see how it is. And this is just my regular printer paper, which is a cream paper. This is what I use for all kinds of printing at home. And basically when I created this, I was inspired by this song called Fancy by Twice. It's a Korean girl group, and they are so amazing, and their performance and songs and their dance and everything is so awesome. So I was just so inspired, because that's kind of summery, but it's also really sophisticated, and they're cool. So I will leave the link to their music video if you want to check that out, because they are so amazing. But I was inspired by the song and the song lyrics and the performance and music video and their outfit and everything. So I just decided to write some words and phrases so that I can have them in my printable. So basically the top half here, this part is just a lot of words and everything, and this part is the stationery part. So I kind of made some kind of note card, so because I see myself using this in my planners and journal. I do the simple design, and when I want to add some extra like excitement, that's when I start printing the same things on different kinds of paper. And I even do some collage with this. And also recently, if you guys are familiar with all my contents and shop items, I've been sewing stuff to decorate my embellishments and ephemera and things like that. So in this video, basically I'm gonna be doing this. So I'll show you how I do that in a little bit, and if I can, I will try to show you how I use them in my journal as well. But guys, since we're already talking about this and talking about my Patreon page, I would really appreciate it if you consider pledging there. So I share a lot of exclusive contents on my Patreon page. I share a lot of my hauls. So every time I buy something for my shop or my journaling and everything, I make videos and I share this on my Patreon page in case they are curious about how I buy things or where I get my items and stuff like that. And also I create different kinds of posts with different topics, such as how I use my Daiso label stickers on my journal pages, or I share a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like when I have a frustrating day or when I have bad day, good day. I share that kind of, like feelings and my experiences and stuff on my Patreon page as well. And then now we have these printable goodies, and also you can absolutely sign up for the higher tiers as well to get some more videos and to even get a physical goodies from me as well. All the descriptions are in my Patreon page, and you can definitely check the Patreon page out through the link I'll be posting in the description if you want. And let's see what I can do with this. First of all, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut all of them, and it's gonna take me a while, and I'm not gonna be showing you. I'm gonna be using my paper trimmer, but just letting you know, when I designed this paper, these words and all the boxes and everything, I try to make it easier for you guys to cut. So instead of having like so many different shapes, I kept the shapes in different, in the similar sizes and similar shapes and everything, so that if you are pretty much like, if you are cutting this thing, the first thing you can do is you can just, go from here, and then it's just easy. You can cut multiple pieces in one, I don't know how to say this, like a one cut, I guess. So that's what I was going for. That's what I always go for, because I'm all about being efficient and effective and not wasting a lot of paper. So yeah, I love making things like this, because imagine if I had like a different shapes and stuff, and if I make that into printables, it's gonna be just hard for you guys to cut them using scissors and all that kind of stuff, because I personally don't really like that kind of experience, or cutting things like along with the shapes and everything. I just kept everything simple. I try to avoid a lot of season related words too, just to make sure that my followers and my Patreon members from all over the world can use this, like these printables anytime they want. Cause right now we're in summer in Texas, but I have Patreon members who are in Australia, and I don't want them to be like, wow, this is so summer, I won't be able to use it. I didn't want to, I didn't want them to experience something like that. So I just tried to include everything for everybody. But I'm gonna stop talking and let's just see what I can do with this. Guys, I just got done cutting them. As you can see, it's a lot. It was a lot of work. My arm's hurting right now, and I didn't cut the sticker sheet at all, because my arms are already tired. And basically, like with the stickers, there's nothing much I would do to make them into more exciting embellishments. Basically, when I cut them off, I'm just gonna use them as it is. So I didn't really do anything. But the other colors, including the cream, I cut them all, and it was easy to cut. It's just when I did the first sheet, it was fine, but when I had to do the rest, it's like a lot of work. And right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my sewing machine. and I'm gonna be decorating them. But basically what I'm gonna be doing is I have some of these random paper scraps, and also this paper. This is a paper that I got. It's like a whole roll, and this is from Walmart. And I just ordered this with my grocery delivery, and it's like a $2, $2.50 or something. It's called masking tape. I mean, not masking tape. I'm sorry, masking paper. So I guess when you're painting on the wall or something, you can use this paper to cover you know, the areas that you don't need to paint. So that's how they use, I believe. But I'm gonna be using these too. So how I use it is basically I just tear this off and I just use it. I will, of course, I'll tear it more. So what I usually do is, for example, and I'm gonna be using all these little thingies too. I'm gonna try. So like for example, if this is the just regular note card one. So when I made this, I was like, maybe if anybody wants to write down like what they are feeling like right now, what I'm looking at right now, what I'm thinking right now, what I need to get done right now, I can just use this. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna use my sewing machine to add another piece like this. So I have my scissors here, and is this, no, this is too long. I'm gonna be sewing here so I can add extra colors and everything, and I'll definitely do this outside the camera, and I will show you what I'm gonna do, and I will explain to you if I make anything interesting. Also, I have some other things that I can use here also. I have other paper scraps, and I have handmade paper here, and I have French dictionary scraps here, and I have coffee dyed tracing paper and some cardstock, and I have some fabric also. So I can use all of this to spice up my printables. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I really have no problem just using them as it is, but I think that it's gonna be fun to, you know, decorate it. I have, oh my gosh, I have some of these too, these images. So I can use this, and I have some other stuff too. So I have a bunch of paper scraps. So I'm not too worried about what I'm gonna use, but let's begin. Guys, I just got done with the sewing machine. I think I was working for about 30 minutes or a little longer than that. And these are all the stuff that I was able to do. I don't think it was, it's like 45 minutes probably, not sure, but let's cut them. Alright, I'm done cutting all of them. It's the most satisfying thing ever whenever you have all these ephemeras just hanging on the string after you sew them. It's just really fun, and I have the rest here. I didn't do all of them, and let me tell you what I did with some pieces. Usually I have like a few or several things that I do all the time, and I just keep repeating this, but because all my paper scraps or fabric scraps or the quotes on the colors of the paper and everything, all these are different. There is a variety in that already. So even though I do the same thing over and over, the final like results are always kind of different. So this is something that I do really easily. So basically you just have one piece of whatever paper and you just sew on top of it. This is what exactly I did here. And another thing you can do is you can layer some paper. So this one has glossy, kind of like a glossy cardstock scrap, and also this French dictionary paper, and it's kind of like a boo-boo. I made a boo-boo. It happens sometimes. I have some other ones too, because I had to change out my bobbins and stuff in the beginning or in the middle, so I didn't know I didn't have any threads. So this is yeah, kind of like a mistake pieces. This is actually one of them now, but you can absolutely layer different kinds of paper to create this kind of look. And sometimes I go over with the sewing machine like 2 or 3 times or even more, so I will do like a stitch on this side like this, or do over here just to have some extra stitches. But this time I'm just gonna go with just one line of stitching. I'm not gonna do any more. So here, this is something you can do with different kinds of paper. And this is a bigger, like a note card, and I decided to sew this piece of music sheet here. So absolutely you can like write here, but also you can just keep it like this. And whenever I make embellishments for like this or for my Velgo parcel shop items, if I leave a layer like this, then that means you can say, if you want to have like a, if you want to layer something yourself, you can absolutely do that too. So you can just use it like this, or you can even glue this down, but also you can put extra paper scrap or fabric scrap to make even, you know, more decoration. So you can absolutely do that. I do that all the time, and whenever I work on something like this, I just hope that my customer will think so. So sometimes I show tips and stuff, but sometimes I don't. But this is definitely something you can do. Like even here, if you want to do more layering, you can add another piece of fabric, or, you know, like a washi tape or something like that there. And this is another piece with just one layer of paper. This is coffee dyed tracing paper, so I just use this so you can have, I don't know, it's just interesting. And again, this is some coffee dyed paper, and just with one paper scrap you can do that. And there are some pieces where I use like a multiple, like it's 1, 2, 3 different things here, and this one also. And I start using the fabrics as well. And even this one, look, it's kind of like, it gives you more dimension, like more layers, so more things to look at. And I sometimes just wrinkle the papers so that it can just look extra interesting, even though you can just use a regular paper without doing anything like that. But I sometimes do it, and I did that with like a super small pieces too. I just cannot find them, but these are some other pieces. And this time I had some paper scraps, like I used, these are like leftover from other projects, so I just use them like this perfectly. So beautiful. And also sometimes I switch out my stitching in the middle of the sewing machine, in the middle of doing the sewing machine thing, so that, I don't know, it's just interesting when you have extra, like different kinds of stitchings. So this is another piece with what is this, fabric, but this paper is just very like, pink is too pinky, and the fabric is very thin, and the base is like a white color. So when I just put the fabric on top of the neon paper directly, it looked kind of weird. It just made the pictures on the fabric darker, so I decided to put an extra paper scrap there. That way it can have its original color, you know. And there are super simple ones like this too, just really tiny, but I love it. And there are some other ones, it says flowers, and I really liked using these paper scraps from cutting all this. I think I'm gonna throw it away now, but like, I'm just telling you right now, like, I don't know what you think, but whenever I work on my shop or Patreon mails or any happy mails, I really don't want to waste anything. So I really try to use all the paper scraps just as much as I can. It's just they are beautiful. They can be used like this. So why would you throw away? But sometimes when I like use them up, like a, you know, like I use them and use them, I still have them, then I do throw them away. But for now, I'm just having fun making this. And I love these neon colors. I love having this. So you guys can definitely do it too. One thing I wanted to mention is that if you don't have a sewing machine, you can use just regular glue sticks. I used to make something like this, or when I did the Franken pages, or when I made some other like a multiple page journaling cards or anything like that, I've used staples and also just regular glue sticks before. You can absolutely do that too, or you can just hand stitch some of the pieces too if you're good at, you know, sewing. But because I am using the sewing machine, I didn't want to use any glue in case it makes the needle sticky or something like that, because I am not sure how the how glue is gonna affect the needles if I sew on top of something that's glued. So I just didn't use any glue. But again, you can absolutely do this with glue, or if you like your washi tape, you can absolutely make a bunch of layers and use up your scraps, like a paper scraps, this way. And now you may be curious, like, why did she make so much? It's not like I'm selling it because this is for my Patreon. The reason is because I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. So I will leave the link in the description box if you want to check them out. It's absolutely gonna be for my Patreon members. So you have to be a Patreon member to be able to how should I say, participate, like join the giveaway. And it's just I do have a tier where I share my like monthly new creations with my Patreon members, which is the Vintage Lover tier. It's $20 a month tier, and I don't think I'm gonna be like using this as a main source. Like I'm not gonna be using this as a main source when I make the August rewards that I send out, like a physical rewards. But I will add some in there in case my Patreons didn't really you know, like make ephemeras like this. I don't think they will do it, or if they do it, that's awesome. But I also wanted to share more paper love and more. Look, this one has really interesting stitching. I'm sorry, but I wanted to share some more love with my Patreon members. So I'm gonna be hosting a giveaway, and by the time you watch this, it should be already up on my Patreon page, and also maybe I'll be already promoting it on my Instagram as well. So if you want to join me, please check the post in the description. I mean, not the post, check the link. Yeah, link and the post in the description box, and I will talk to you guys next time. Oh, be sure to let me know if you want to see how I make my ephemeras and stuff. I just posted some pictures of this, not even cut, like the whole sheet. I posted these pictures on Instagram. I'm already getting questions like, how do you make them? Like the answer is, if you watch my video and if you are on my Patreon page, everything's there. But the thing is, I'm not sure if you guys want to keep you know, watching this kind of content. So if you want to know how I make my ephemeras, and if you want to see my other like a sewing experiments and my sewn embellishments and stuff like that, let me know. All right, and I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys, thank you.